Hi everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities, work our way through the dollar yields, precious metals, and commodities and ETFs that I follow. We do have a discount going on. It is today through the 15th called August. It's 50% off the first month that you try it. It's in the description link below if you want to see it. Put it in the coupon code August. So I'm going to go through here, give you my financial opinions, and rip through it. We also have a platinum midweek update today, so look for that after this, and I'll post it up on the website and give you my opinions on what I'm doing on the markets. All right, so let's dive in. Let's take a look and see what's going on. We've got, again, a strong dollar. Strong yields generally manifest themselves with lower pricing of those commodities that are priced in dollars. Again, commodities are nothing more than a ratio. It's basically the supply and demand of the commodity and then the supply and demand of dollars. And that is the ratio that we are charting. Dollar DXY, this is relative to other currencies, stronger today. And the yields being pretty resilient today. So we back out on here. We've got kind of a bounce on support, breakthrough, and this could be a false breakout where we had higher in the dollar. As weird as that is. So this could be the false breakout. We're starting to break to the upside here. We did not turn over, and yields are looking pretty strong. What does that mean? Well, it doesn't mean that we just go straight lower. We might have increasing yields for a while. And if you look at bond prices, that could be the case. Could be. And we'll see over the next week or two how these trade. But strong dollar today. The 2-year down a little bit. This doesn't look as bullish as, say, some of the longer end of the curve, but it's hanging in there. The 10 years bullish. We did get a big wick on today's candlestick. So if you look at it from this perspective here, you can say, yeah, we've got kind of a trend line going here. Maybe we come back to this trend line down here, and we've got basically a head and shoulders, maybe shoulder, head, shoulder, and maybe we break down where the yields come on back a little bit, maybe back towards this trend line. Again, we'll have to wait and see. The short term, anything can happen in the short term, but we did get some selling pressure there in the short term. Same with the 30-year yield, a little bit of selling pressure today towards middle end of day. There's where we turned over, started to head a little bit lower. Again, this does look like a flag pattern where it could work its way on up if the buyers do step in here. But on the short term, I don't really play the short term like this. I'm just waiting. The momentum's definitely to the upside. TYX TNX ratio going higher today. The curve it's increasing, but the 30-year yield's increasing at a faster pace than the 10-year yield. So the curve is uninverting, but it's still going up. Gold doesn't necessarily like a strong dollar and stronger yields, but the curve did uninvert. A lot of the times the curve uninverts when the yields drop. That's when gold really takes off. TLT, which is bond prices, down lower today. We did get some momentum change throughout the day. That's why there's a big wick on the bottom. Could we get a bounce here? It's possible that we could bounce higher. This is what it looks like, guys. This is your bounce here. That's your bounce at the end of the day, mid to end day. And then we'll have to see if that thing rolls on over, which it looks like it might roll on over. So lots of selling pressure in bonds here. And that does look like we could continue lower over the longer term. So higher yields, lower bond prices, lower gold prices with higher dollar and increasing yields. What we are hoping for is that the support level holds down here at the 1905-ish level. And it does look like we could have a little bit further downside. You can see that the red candlesticks are growing in size and the green candlesticks are a lot less forceful. So selling pressure's winning over the buying pressure, and we could roll over here a little bit. And let's hope that the support holds at 1905. Silver also heading lower, doesn't like yields, doesn't like the strong yields or the strong dollar, which are tied together. Platinum also doing the same thing. So we could see a little bit of selling pressure in the short term until yields change. XAU to gold ratio also falling lower. We can back out here. You know, is this a flag pattern where we've come on down and that we could potentially break and head lower? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's wait and see. Let's just be patient here. CRB index still looking good, but we had a pretty big down day today. Could this be a return move down here? Very well could be. So a lot of the times what we do is we break the pattern. We get a return move somewhere, and that's our retest return move. Very well could be the case. CRB to S&P 500 still looking good. It's holding on. Momentum still to the upside. It's still looking okay. We've got GDX, obviously a lot more selling pressure. Looks like it could potentially continue to the downside in all of these ones. SILJ at least gets a little bit of a bounce higher towards the end of the day. There it is selling off and bounced up throughout the end of the day. And it's looking for lower yields and lower dollar. Right now, we are not getting that. We're not getting lower dollar. We're not getting lower yields. So the gold and silver mining companies and gold and silver do not perform well under those market conditions. Crude oil, even though we had a massive inventory draw of 17 million barrels on the inventory, one of the biggest, I think that was the largest inventory drop, still couldn't overcome the selling pressure in the oil market and those strong yields in dollar. A little bit of a bounce on the end of the day, but you know, this is a pretty big down day. It is a bearish engulfing that generally indicates a pullback in the short term. Natural gas also selling off some right on support. We'll see if that support holds. We've got XOP. Yeah, you know me. It sold off hard throughout the day, but it did bounce back. Here's our bounce back throughout. Is that bounce going to be sustaining? Not sure yet, especially if oil starts to pull back even further. So what am I going to do in this situation? I'm going to do nothing. I'm just going to hold on and wait. OIH also getting a little bit of a sell-off. We're right on top of support. Everything still looks pretty uneventful here in OIH. Still looks good, still above support. Momentum's to the upside. Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, a little bit of a down day, very volatile. We were rocketing at one point and we were way down at another point. Lots of volatility here. You know what I'm going to do? Nothing. I'm going to sit in my positions and do nothing, guys. Just wait for this to continue to keep playing out. URA slightly lower. It bounced throughout the day. You've got a nice, strong bounce. This could very well go on up higher here in the short term. But again, the short term, anything can happen in the short term. But still looks good to go higher. Still looks good. We're sitting on top of the broken. We broke out, still sitting on top. That still looks good to go higher. Grind its way on up. URNM also sitting on support. Still looks good to go higher. Nothing has been broken. That is not repairable. Now, if this sold off and finished quite low, then I would be like, you know what? We've got a lot of selling pressure still here. But it was purchased back up. There it is, coming back up to that support level towards the end of the day. URNJ just following the rest of the crew. This is just a junior, right at support. Nothing broken, still looks good. TAN getting a little bit more of a selling pressure move. Maybe we got a little bit more downside. Does not like higher dollar, higher yields. Doesn't like it. And it does look like yields could go sideways, maybe lower in the short term. But I don't know how sustaining that is. So you know what I'm going to do? Nothing. COPX also heading a little bit lower today. We can check out the price of copper, but still within the channel. Has not broken that channel yet. Lithium down, but still looks good to go higher. Why do I say that? Well, we're sitting on top of a pattern, guys. We do have a lot more selling pressure that's starting to enter this market. Still looks good until it doesn't look good. I'll say that. And we could head lower here because we got a bearish engulfing pattern here. So we're going to have to wait and see what yields do, see what the dollar does, see how this all plays out over the next few weeks. REMX in the same spot as lithium, right on support. We've got S&P not looking as good. This does look like it could go lower. So it started here. This was your bearish engulfing. I said, hey, let's see what happens over the next few weeks. Here we are getting sold off. Yields are going higher. This does look like it could continue in the short term. And guys, when I say that, it's all a shorter. The short term is a lower probability than these longer term big picture view. I am in the camp that the S&P will probably fall at some point, and we could do a double top. We could top out right where it's at, anywhere in that camp there. So that is where I think we're going to end up, and I think yields are going to continue higher. NASDAQ does not like increasing yields, doesn't like it. This here is your bearish engulfing. We should be looking at it from a downward move. Now, some people say, hey, we're going to go higher. I don't know about that if yields continue on up, depending on how fast yields go up too. Emerging markets down with that strong dollar. This still looks really good on a longer term view to go higher. XHB down. Everything's pretty much down. This is up against resistance. Here's your resistance right up there. Is this a double top? Are we going to go lower? Or is this bullish engulfing going to supersede? Don't know. Don't know in the short term here. We've got conflicting bearish engulfing, bullish engulfing. It's going all over the place. We've got yields rocketing higher, stronger dollar. Lots going on in these markets. We don't have that full alignment right now. Moo also heading back a little bit with that stronger dollar, stronger yield. Could this turn over? It very well could have a pullback in it in the short term. Copper's back within the pattern. So we had could be a false breakout here coming on back. I would say it's due to yields. Yields are going to crush everything. The speed that they're moving is pretty quick. They're covering a lot of ground. We do have a wick at the top today, so we'll have to see how that pans out. Iron ore coming back. Doesn't like yields, doesn't like strong dollar, doesn't like all that stuff, just like the rest of the commodities. Still looks good, though. We've broken out here, and we're going to find some sort of support underneath it, and it will probably work our way on higher. Nickel up 1.8. Looks like support's holding. Looks pretty good, actually, for nickel. Maybe even can accelerate to the upside. And again, guys, I don't play any of these short term. Aluminum, still looking good. That just looks like kind of a flag pattern there. You zoom in, little flag maybe on the weeklies at least. Still looks all right. We're above support. We'll see if it holds. Baltic Dry Index up a little bit today. Still looking good. Newcastle Coals, it's basing out. We're getting that basing effect. Bitcoin selling off a little bit, down 1.87%. Had a nice strong day yesterday. Now we got a nice strong selling pressure day. It's going back and forth. Same with Ethereum. These patterns don't look that bad. I mean, we have to see which way it breaks. We have to see what yields do. I mean, that's really what all this is dependent upon. So that's really what's going on. Yields are smashing everything lower. Yields and strong dollar. And could that continue to the upside? It very well could. And right now we just have to wait. Commodities look good. They're broken out of their patterns. They're sitting on top of everything. And now we have to wait for the right market conditions to come. We got to wait for the yields to slow down. They're just ripping to the upside. And the markets don't like that. Overall, the markets don't like that. And we could see a big pullback in the overall markets for a little while if yields just rip here. But again, we'll see what happens over the next few days or weeks and see how this all plays out. I'm not doing anything with my shares. I'm not trading the short term. I'm a long-term trader or investor, I should say. And right now, I mean, everything looks good. We had a massive inventory draw on oil. So, yeah, just going to sit and wait. All right, guys, that's all I've got for today. Thumb up, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the website. I do have that discount again, 50% off the first month. Use the discount code is August, and it's in the description link below. We'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.